Okay, so we'll now go to public comment.
My name's Lindsay Comey, and I'm a United States veteran, and I spend a lot of time here in Berkeley, and luckily we have Berkeley Patients Group, which sponsors compassionate care for veterans and provides a space for us to have a regular meeting so that those of us that have been violently trained killers are able to use our medication to be part of a productive society. We have been trained by the United States military to take a very inappropriate stand on a lot of occasions, and we do not want to do that in Berkeley. I am a senior. I'm an elder. That means I can't smoke in my facility. I need a place to be able to consume my medicine, and that a lot of the conversation I've heard today is based on recreation. And I want to say to you that a majority of us use this plant as medicine, and you need to remember that.
I have depression. It's not about sadness. It's about being irritable, being frustrated. So I do not have too many friends. But when I go to a lounge, I pick up friends. I can talk to, and a lot of people who are disabled live alone. We go to a lounge and hey, we make friends. It's a good thing.
I'm from Ohio, in particular Summit County in Akron. Yeah, I know. And Summit County is one of the counties that filed suit against all these pharmaceutical companies for the opioid crisis that's going on, ravaging my hometown. Part of that is because pot's not legal in Ohio. If we had pot, people would have an easy outlet to de-stress from life. And we don't, so now we've got opioids, which is not great. So I think, these buffers, these lounges, they're great, they're wonderful things. I really wish we had those growing up. I'd have a lot less dead friends if we had those in Ohio.
Seniors need a place to learn about cannabis, show them how to use it, show them dosing, and you could do that in a vape lounge. They'll have I can't go into their homes, but they can come to me. And I could provide information. It's all about education, education, education. I used to be totally against cannabis, but once I got educated that it is a medicine, the opioids are killing our seniors. The pharmaceutical approach to health care is failing us. Cannabis can help. This is a medicine that can help so many people. It's not like a bar. A bar, you just get sicker. A vape lounge helps people. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Giovanna LaChance, and I'm a mom of 2 kids. I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I also frequent the West Branch Library, and I have sciatica, and the best thing that helps my sciatica spasms is using my vape, and I carry it with me all the time. It's my lifesaver. And if I am not able to use it when I'm having a spasm, I basically can't walk. And it helps me be a good mom and be a responsible citizen. So please don't ban vapes. Thanks.
There seems to be confusion on both sides around flavoring and what is in cannabis. Cannabis is a plant that has many strains, many phenotypes that come in different smells and varieties, which also is connected to the impact that it has on our bodies, right? Each strain specifically can be different. So the woman had that thing around that. She says it's grape flavored. It's like, no, there's a strain that has the word grape in it because the terpenes in the cannabis plant reminded the farmer of grapes. So he put the name grape in it. I want to give you a comparison, sticking to agriculture. Sun Gold tomatoes. We know they don't have gold in them, right? Early girl tomatoes. We know they don't have girls in them. We don't regulate those. So if we're going to go into the language around flavors and banning, we need to get real experts in here, one around public health and around cannabis to make these regulations work.
I speak as a former staff member of the first Berkeley dispensary, and we had a smoking area that we allowed our patients to stay in and smoke. We had simple rules of respect, don't stay too long, and use of cannabis products only. And what goes on in a vapor lounge? Nothing like reefer madness. People sit around and talk to each other endlessly. It's a very relaxed situation. And that's generally what goes on in a vapor lounge. No big deal. I recommend we have them in Berkeley.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, my name's Debbie Goldsberry. I'm one of the co-owners of High Fidelity Dispensary here in Berkeley, and I'm owner of Magnolia Wellness Dispensary in Oakland. In fact, over the last week at the Magnolia Wellness Consumption Lounge, I had 2 separate conversations with patrons who were telling me what the space meant to them. The first was somebody with a mental health condition who was using our dab bar as a safe and stable place to build community and to have a safe place to come and feel good. The second was a person using the space for harm reduction, using the dab bar as a key part of their goal to stay clean and sober and to stay among friends who care. So when I think about consumption lounges, I think about good health and I think about community.
My name is Dr. Frank Lucido, family practice in Berkeley since 1979, 40 years as of December, and a medical cannabis physician for 23 years. And Berkeley Patients Group started in 1996. They're one of the premier places, one of the early pioneers. And what's important is the early cannabis clubs were called compassion clubs because they were places where people could actually coalesce with other people that had illnesses and have a safe place to smoke. Several people have mentioned that some of the places that people live, they're not allowed to smoke in their own places. So first of all, they're not smoking in the proposed Berkeley Patients Group. It's vaporization. But the other thing I need to say is Dr. Tashkin, a pulmonologist at UCLA, was funded by NIDA to prove that pot smoking caused cancer. What he found after crunching his numbers is that pot smokers actually had less lung cancer than the non-smokers, so that there's a protective effect. And that's even smoking. Vaporizing is even safer. And so really it's compassion and community, and people should be allowed to use their medicine by vaporization. Thank you.
Hello. I know that you've heard a lot of thoughts that echo my own. I'm Roger LaChance. I'm the COO of Berkeley Patients Group. What I really want to focus on today is this idea of pushing an agenda of smoking prohibition and kind of hiding behind the concerns of young children. All right. Most of the people that I know in the cannabis industry have families. We have children. Our friends have children. Our colleagues have children. We have been children. We understand how to raise our children. And we feel, frankly, pretty insulted by the fact that people come in and insist that we're preying upon other people's children to make a grisly buck. That is not the case. Most of us entered this industry out of compassion. We are there to promote healing. We are still here because the people who are supposed to die, who were never supposed to heal, did heal, didn't die. And that is the story of medical cannabis, and that is what sets the stage for people's desire to have legal cannabis. Let's also talk about the effect of prohibition on families. Prohibition on families and breaking up families and putting them away over something that doesn't cause measurable public harm. And I've heard a lot of reference about studies and ventilation and things like that, and it assumes that anything other than absolute ventilation is going to lead to some kind of public health crisis. That is not correct. The studies are not complete. The evidence is still out there. But the anecdotal evidence, the evidence that I've seen, hundreds and thousands of people that we've touched in terms of their lives and keeping their families together, those are real to me. Those are the people that came and voted for Prop 64. Those are the ones that voted Berkeley as a sanctuary city. And those are the stories that we're living ourselves, and our neighbors are living right now, and our teachers are living right now, and our lawyers are living right now, and our doctors are living right now. These people are us. They're not an other, and we don't have to be afraid of ourselves.
You have a lot of issues before you about cannabis, but to me they generally boil down to one question, which is, do we see this as a legitimate industry, a legitimate product that people can sell and enjoy and that can profit Berkeley, or are we in fact nostalgic in some ways for the age of prohibition and everything that entails? And lounges really brings that home for me, because right now, if you are a renter in Berkeley, cannabis is illegal. It is legal to buy, but if you have a medical condition, you have to choose between possibly facing eviction, not taking your medicine, or just hoping for the best. And that is not the sign of a sanctuary city for cannabis.
banning legal products is essentially telling all of the renters, all of those in government housing, the seniors, the veterans, the communities of color, that the rights and liberties that come with legalization don't apply to them, and that their freedom doesn't matter, and that their freedom of choice doesn't matter. This city prides itself for its history of radically defending the rights of the underserved and disenfranchised. And cannabis and public health can coexist, but not with drug war mentality, and not by banning legal products as proposed by the CHC. Youth access and vape illness both come from the illicit market. So we don't need to turn a health crisis into another moral crusade. Our nation has been through multiple iterations of prohibition throughout its history, and it has spectacularly failed every single time. I have another minute. Also, a ban on lounges and flavored products would contradict your highly publicized declaration in 2018, declaring Berkeley the nation's first sanctuary city for cannabis. The misguided recommendations by the CHC more closely align with the prohibitionist policies of the federal government and their efforts to demonize cannabis and its users. This was something your own resolution proudly and loudly sought to condemn. So please stand by your resolution. Uphold and protect Berkeley's values to protect all legal consumers' rights to safe access, regardless of their homeowner privileges or socioeconomic status. Keep it legal, keep it safe. Thank you.
I really appreciate the values, the revolutionary values of Berkeley. You know, art has been a recurring theme of the evening tonight, and I'd like to remind folks that the role of the artist is to make the revolution irresistible. And until we as a community end war, it's our moral obligation to warmly welcome home warriors. No dispensary in Berkeley is doing a better job than Berkeley Patients Group. They host our organization, Operation EVAC. They've pledged $50,000 to the Battle Brothers Foundation. They take care of us. They support us. And so NIMBYism isn't revolutionary values. Reefer madness, fear-mongering over little white children is not revolutionary values. I'm expecting, and I appreciate all of you for making the right decision tonight.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Okay, Councilmember Kesarwani?
Yes.
Davila? Yes. Bartlett?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Hahn is absent. Wengraf? Robinson?
Yes.
Droste?
Pass.
Mayor Arreguín? Yes. Councilmember Droste?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
A motion passes. We adopted a first reading. Thank you.